Then read The Wind Hover, the official magazine of the Jesuits in the Philippines. Written by Jesuits and their lay partners, The Wind Hover features real stories about the Jesuits and their various ministries. Be inspired. Be blessed. Subscribe to The Wind Hover. For inquiries, call the Philippine Jesuit Aid Association at telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892. Once again, Philippine Jesuit Aid Association, telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892.
Kaibigan, alam mo na ba kung anong dapat gawin upang iwasan at sugpuin ang COVID-19? Iwasang hawakan ng bibig, mata at ilong. Laging maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig sa loob ng 20 segundo. Linisin ang mga bagay na palaging hinahawakan. Kumain ng balanse at masusustansyang pagkain. Matulog ng sapat, huwag magpupuyat. Stay home. Sa wastong pag-iingat, ang virus hindi kakalat. COVID-19, kayang-kaya nating tapusin.
We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at radyo-katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Jescom Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang Social-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan.
Get your daily dose of inspiration through our music. Follow Jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music in YouTube.
Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
And there was another drive-by shooting.
The fire we reported at Noel Fire Hall is still burning out.
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on Mind Ed.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Chola Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Nasistress ka na ba? Nagpapanik o natatakot dahil sa COVID-19? Normal lang ang ganitong mga reaksyon sa ngayon. Pero may magagawa ka para mapagtagumpayan ang sitwasyon na ito. Ituloy lang ang pangangamusta sa mga kamag-anak at kaibigan gamit ang text, tawag o video. Tiyakin na ang mga bata ay ligtas at nasa maayos na kalagayan. Gawin sa bahay ang mga nakasanayan upang hindi mabagot o mabalisa sa panahong ito. Sa wastong pag-iingat, ang virus hindi kakalat. COVID-19, kayang-kaya nating tapusin.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan.
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, Soar, the Seniors On Air Radio, where you can listen to music you want straight from our playlists. Don't change that channel yet, because Soar is ready to put the you in youth. Soar, Seniors On Air, here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. The voice of W Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo. Todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipad W Eagle, galing hiding at tigil. UNY, one big fight. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
All caps, mga Atenista! It's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM.
Good, already all the best. And this afternoon, we shall really level up again with two good friends from two families na parang pamilya ko na rin. Pwede akong magpaampon dito every time I wanna escape the madness in the city. So kay Goma sa Ormoc, sina Dodot, pwede sa Tagaytay. Pero of course, nasa Pasig siya nakabase. So, men who matter, a few good men who have made significant marks not only with their families, but in sports and even in governance and public service. So we welcome someone we missed. Bilib na bilib sa kanya si Mayor Magalom na, and we were talking about her. Someone like me, a COVID survivor, pero ibang klase yung pinagdaanan din niya. Mayor Richard Gomez, kumusta?
Hi, Noel. How are you?
How are you?
Good afternoon. Good. Much better now.
Oo nga eh.
I'm back
Pero
in the office.
yun nga, you're back to your office. As nagulat ako, meron ka na ring outreach program agad. May feeding program na nakita ko nung weekend. So you were well na.
I work with different NGOs in Ormoc City. So we support yung mga programs nila such as mga feeding programs, programs for children. Karamihan, puro mga ganun eh.
Yan nga. At saka hindi, pagkatapos mo ng COVID, sabak sa trabaho. At balita ko nga, kahit naka-COVID ka, yun nga, nag-meeting ka pa rin, Zoom online. So that's very goma for us, walang kapaguran. Now we welcome someone who we've missed. Actually, dapat yata mapadalas ka sa public eye. Someone who ito na, buti na lang dito ka unang lumabas, Dodot, and after this people will start inviting you. And buti na lang ngayon ka lalabas habang walang Mikey, parang habang si Mikey napaka-busy doon sa we can focus on you. Dodot Jaworski, former congressman of Pasig. And now I guess I'll ask him later kung may comeback ba. Pero Dodot, kumusta ka?
Hi Noel, good afternoon. And kay Mayor, magandang hapon sa iyo.
Hi, Dot.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. And to all your viewers and listeners, magandang hapon po sa inyo. Thank you for having us on your show, Noel.
Oo naman. Ang ganda lang ng parallelism, no? Parehong maayos yung pamilya, and yun buo yung core, no? Hindi matitinag. Pangalawa, parehong maka-sports, parehong athletes, no? Tapos pangatlo, parehong nagserbisyo publiko. First up, we are on our third wave. Ang sabi nila, season 3 of our hard lockdown. What can you say, Goms?
As a mayor of a city, all we ask for is really cooperation from the people. When we have mga COVID bodies, no, that creates mga policies, and we really listen to experts, to mga doctors, to mga infectious disease specialists, and then we listen to them, and then we take our cue from their suggestions. And lockdown is one of them. Medyo mabigat, medyo mahirap, but you know, this is something that we really have to try. It's something that we have to do.
Ibang klase, no? But aren't you glad you're not in Metro Manila anymore?
Yeah. You know, the problem sa Metro Manila is sheer volume of people. There's just too many people.
That's
why it's difficult to control yung COVID situation dyan. And it's very difficult also for mga city mayors in Metro Manila to do that. It's difficult. That's why kailangan talaga yung mga tao mismo tumulong sa gobyerno.
Now, I'll tell you, well, later we'll talk about it. No? Kawawa talaga yung mga local government units. Kayo talaga yung nasa ground at kayo yung napagpapasahan ng iba't ibang mga policies, no? And iba kung minsan, sabi nga ni Mayor Magalong, no? Ang dami-daming mga policies na in the end, kayo naman talaga yung magpapatupad. So you would know what's good with your constituents. So buti na lang ikaw, nagagwardahan mo dyan.
Ano kami dito? Mga utusan talaga kami dito.
Totoo yun.
Totoo talaga.
Pero how much can you assert, Goms?
No, you just have to do it. It's part of your work. It's part of your job. Sometimes it's difficult. That's why you really have to work with the different agencies. You have to work with different organizations to help you. Because as a mayor and with your people alone in the city, you cannot do it alone. You really have to seek the support of other groups.
Totoo yun eh, pati private sector, no? And one such city, Dodot, kayo yun eh, sa Pasig. If you realize, kayo yung pinakamagaganda, I guess, comprehensive, yung response sa COVID situation. How are you in Pasig? Salamat, kasi kayo yung kasama dun sa maayos na tracing, contact tracing din.
Well, so far, we're very lucky because Mayor Vico has instituted a lot of programs to make sure that this COVID situation will be addressed properly. Although, syempre, tama nga yung sinasabi nga ni Mayor Goma na ang problema talaga natin, yung sheer volume ng tao at saka yung density ng tao sa barangay, sa mga communities. Kasi dikit-dikit talaga ang bahay at saka alam naman natin na, you know, very tight ang situation sa mga barangay. Kaya ako, I really believe that, you know, for us, we have 706 yata or more active cases at the moment in Pasig.
Yeah.
So it's quite a handful. Since the beginning of COVID, we've hit almost 38,000 yata kami. So you're talking about like 4.5% of the entire population of Pasig has had COVID. And, you know, we're lucky kasi nga, ang Pasig is a very wealthy, one of the wealthiest cities in the Philippines, and we have the resources. We don't really need to rely on the national government too much, you know. But again, at the end of the day, dahil nga sa dami ng tao, kasi you're talking about almost 900,000 plus na ang population ng Pasig. Napakarami na rin, no, for such a small land area compared nga sa mga probinsya. Kaya I think it's really a big task, no, that has to be done, but with the cooperation of not just the people in government, but especially the private sector, the NGOs, the good willing hearts of the, you know, the people down the grassroots in the communities. Everything we'll get through this. We just have to hold on to each other, kapit lang at makakaraos tayo dito.
Pero sasabihin namin sa iyo ni Goma, Dodot, swerte nyo may medical city kayo sa Pasig, and you've really made, di ba, parang good partnership with a private hospital, no? Parang, Goms, paano kayo dyan? Parang,
it's very important for us mayors to work with different groups like kami. We have 3 hospitals here and tumutulong talaga sila sa amin because we really talk to them and then we ask them to help us with this COVID problem. So in all COVID activities kasama sila sa vaccination. When it comes to contact tracing, tumutulong sila. And then siguro what our savior is, we have a housing facility, NHA. There's about 700 houses. And then ginagamit namin doon 400 for all COVID affected people. So hindi kami nagka-isolate ng COVID patients at home, bawal in Ormoc. So pag matamaan sila ng COVID, we bring them diretso sa housing facility and then that's where they do their the 14 days na quarantine, or if they opt to stay in the hotel, kunyari ayaw nila dun sa NHA housing, they can go to a COVID-registered hotel.
Pero yun nga ngayon, para at least hindi pa overwhelmed yung system, yung medical system ninyo, no? Yung hospitals.
The problem now, because of the increasing cases,
may Delta ka na ba, Goms? May Delta na ba dyan sa Ormoc? Wala pa naman,
it's hard to say kung meron kami Delta dito.
Wow.
Because in summer and somewhere in Tacloban, meron ng Delta. So we do not know kung nakapasok na dito because pag nagpa-test ka ng Delta, it takes about a week and a half before dumating yung test result. So by the time it's either nakalabas na ng quarantine yung tao or patay na. So there are only two choices. Yeah.
So parang ikaw mas proactive na tipo, isolate na talaga yan at i-treat na. At least yun, maayos.
Automatic talaga. Once you're positive, kukunin ka kagad ng ambulansya and then we'll take you to the facility.
Ibang klase. Dot, kayo sa Pasig, kumusta yung Delta cases? Kasi ngayon, yun yung kinakatakutan, no?
As of the other day, nung nakausap ko si Mayor Vico, we had 7 positive Delta cases identified.
At mabilis, di ba yung transmission niyan, di ba?
Alam mo, ano nga kasi it's weird because these people mostly they're from abroad, returning OFWs, and they were quarantined. So when they were tested, kasi meron tayong mandatory 10-day quarantine. And usually after the 10th day, pag wala ka naman symptoms, you can go home na. Ang problema, pag uwi, nagte-test pa rin ng positive. So hindi rin natin talaga maintindihan tong virus na to di ba?
That's true.
So actually, we just have to really, tighten all our belts and we just have to listen to the authorities. Makinig tayo sa mga kinauukulan kasi po without our cooperation, hindi po matatapos tong problema ng pandemya.
So what's good with both of you is that you consult the best and the brightest. Yun naman yun parang hindi ko lugar tong medicine. I-consult mo the best doctors. That's a way to go, di ba? Parang
mahirap Noel pag magdudunong-dunungan.
Oo, kasi
mahirap talaga.
Yung blind spot mo, kunyari, let's go through the process. No? Sabi ni Mayor Magalong, yung mga mayors daw, not like you, no? Una nilang tinatago yung testing. Kasi kunyari, yung vaccination ngayon, nira-ramp up, no? Pero tsaka yung treatment. Pero ang talagang Waterloo talaga natin yung testing. How have you parang increased testing? Kasi doon natin makikita unless ma-test natin yung mga tao, saka lang natin pwede sila i-isolate. Kasi yung comment ni Mayor Magalong Goma, yung ibang mga mayors daw, hindi kayo yun, no? Ano daw ang ginagawa, masipag daw sa ayuda kasi nandun, kitang-kita sila, nakaprente at sa vaccination. Pero nakakalimutan that the most important part in the whole process really is testing and tracing. Kasi walang pwedeng magpabida doon, nasabi mo. So, how do you do it there in Ormoc?
Dalawa yung testing namin dito. Of course, we have the rapid testing, no?
Yes.
Yung rapid, meron saliva, merong nasal, saka meron yung blood. So, before namin dalhin sa RT-PCR, nirapid test muna namin sila. Pag nag-positive sila sa antigen, then that's the time we take them to the RT-PCR testing center. Paano kasi yung RT-PCR is very expensive.
That's true.
It's more than 5,000 pesos.
That's
and if
true.
you have to do that every day to about let's say 200 people, it's going to be very costly for the local government. So we do our rapid testing here sa mga city health namin. And then pag nag-positive, isolate ka agad, tapos testing for RT-PCR for confirmation.
People will be reminded of what you did the first time kasi 0 cases sa Ormoc nung una for a lot of months, di ba? Tapos, you were
remember, I've been criticized, I've been hit by so many people. But it is our duty as mayors to protect our people.
Yes.
Sabi ko sa inyong lugar, bahala kayo diskarte ng mayor kung anong gagawin nyo dyan. Pero sa amin, ganito yung diskarte namin. Kanya-kanya talagang diskarte yan.
And you were here in that show and then you were saying, hindi mo mapapayagan, maganda yung Balik Probinsya program, but the thing here is dapat may coordination.
Yes, so that's very important.
What demanded of the national government and then they heard you at least. No? But then, tama ka, mahal yung RT-PCR. So marami pa rin ganung test pero kailangan, di ba?
Yes, kailangan talaga. Kailangan.
So, you've ramped up, parang you've increased testing already kasi yun talaga yung kailangan. Okay.
Yes, we do a lot of testing here. In fact, we set up our own RT-PCR laboratory
Meron
together with the one hospital here and EDC. EDC is a company owned by the Lopez Group.
Buti na lang, Goms, kasi dati, di ba,
Yes.
it took a while before, kunyari, Marikina would be accredited para magkaroon ng sarili nilang testing laboratory. Doon
Yeah.
kayo sa Pasig, kumusta naman?
Well, kompleto naman yung facilities ng
Oo nga,
ng Pasig, no? Talagang we have basically a lot of hospitals there, and the testing facilities are all over. We've converted Rizal High School
Yes.
into a COVID center to treat and isolate yung mga nagpa-positive.
Mhm.
At saka yung syempre, what's important kasi is that yung mga tao may tiwala dapat sa ating
That's true.
nakaupo, no? And they know that yung mga nakaupo ngayon, lalo na kay Mayor Vico, they can trust his decisions, that he'll always be making the right choices, which will be for the best benefit of the people. And even at the ground, ay alam kong mahirap ngayon, lalo na dito sa Metro Manila, kasi sabi nga nila, ang tao, basically isang kahig, isang tuka, kung sabihin ba natin sa Tagalog, di ba? And dahil nga sa lockdown, nahirapan sila, naintindihan namin yan. Kaya ang ginagawa ngayon ni Mayor Vico, nagpa-emergency purchase siya ng 250,000 loot bags o ayuda para sa ganun. For the next 2 weeks, meron naman makain yung mga tao at hindi sila mag-worry na kung saan sila kukuha nilang kakainin. Yun ang
Kasi
pinakamalaking challenge.
That's true. Kasi yung kunyari yung ayuda, sabi nga, na-experience din na ni Goma yan May release ang national government, kunyari ngayon, lockdown ulit, ECQ, no? It will take a while bago malabas yung funds, and they will expect you na ma-disburse na agad or may mahagi na sa mga tao. But even before that happened, Goma had everyone receive 1 sack of rice. And I think nakailang replenishment ka na ng 1 sack of rice sa ayuda mo.
Nakadalawa kaming sako ng bigas per household.
Lahat, no? Yeah.
Lahat.
So i-anticipate na yun. That was not with SAP yet. Wala pa yung SAP no.
That's funded by the local government.
Pero yun na nga, parang hindi pa rin sapat. Alam natin, Dot, di ba? Parang sa mga industries natin at mawawalan ng trabaho. Sa atin nga sinasabi, yung mga tip natin sa mga Grab drivers, laki-lakihan kasi o sa mga manggagawa kasi wala talaga silang trabaho for 2 weeks. So aside from the mga loot bags, what else do you have for the people of Pasig now?
Well, actually, yun nga. Tama ka dun, sinabi mo kanina, yung mga manggagawa. Kasama ko nga yung ibang manggagawa last week, no? And we were talking about this pending lockdown. And it's really a big concern, no? I mean, we really have to bite the bullet kasi pinag-uusapan naman natin dito yung kalusugan ng mga tao at saka yung mga pwedeng sabihin na natin na tamaan ng COVID at baka mamatay na hindi na natin mababalik. So, everyone really has to bite the bullet. Kaya lang nga, dahil nga dito sa sabihin na natin, the national government said that they will be giving some ayuda. Ang problema naman natin, paano naman yung distribution sa baba na hindi magkakagulo. No, so that's another thing. I'm sure Mayor Goma
experienced. Let's ask Mayor, how did you do that? Di ba may deadline pa nga kayo, Gom? So dapat maibigay nyo na lahat. So parang talaga kayo servidor, alipin, taga-aklila actually ng...
Alam mo, nightmare talaga lagi yung mag-organize ka ng magbibigay ka ng ayuda because everybody wants to receive something.
That's
and pag sinabi mo na merong ayuda, usually nagkakagulo talaga yung tao. So you really have to plan it out and then you really have to inform people well kung paano yung paraan ng pagbibigay mo. That way, hindi sila nagkukumpul sa isang lugar, hindi sila nag-merge sa isang lugar tapos nagiging super spreader yung event. It has to really be planned out carefully. It has to be planned out the right way para kung pwede nga, dapat talaga nakaschedule din from morning hanggang hapon. Hindi pwede sabihin mo na, especially in the situation sa Metro Manila, hindi mo pwede sabihin na, ito buong umaga lang to. Hindi, because of the number of people. So, kailangan niya, from morning hanggang gabi, nakaschedule yun. Kung kailangan, every kalsada, nakaschedule yun. Ganun ang mangyayari doon.
Tapos,
mahirap. It's a nightmare. It's an organization
automated. Hindi pa kaya ng automated sa Ormoc, Goms?
Sa
Sa
Ormoc,
Makati, di ba?
medyo controlled dito because of the number of people. Hindi kasi,
Yeah.
we do not run by the millions here in Ormoc.
Not
So,
yet.
at least dito, we can do, let's say, vaccination. We can do vaccination in 6 different areas in one day.
Yes.
No? So, ganun yung ginagawa namin. Because of the number of people, kaya pa namin makontrol. Yeah.
Pero yan, kunyari, Pasig, Dot, ang hirap, no? Yung pagbibigay ng ayuda. Kaya nyo bang magmakati? Kasi si Abby Binay, kayang automated.
I think meron na tayong ginagagawang
Good.
what do you call this? Parang you download the money into either a GCash or some kind of transfer na online transfer. No?
Yeah.
We just have to siguro fine-tune and make sure na everyone is covered na, lahat ng pamilya, kasi hindi pa yata lahat. Oo.
That's true. Kasi spreader din talaga yung pera na hahawakan na ipapasa pa sa mga tao. Talagang ang laking pag-iingat nun, no? So now we go to tracing. So after testing, no, na ano rin tayo sa ayuda. Sa tracing naman natin, parang Gobs, alam mo to, gaano karami? Kasi sinasabi ni Mayor Magalong, people stop at 2, 4, 7 or one digit, pero talaga dapat 30 or 30 plus pa. Although sabi mo nga mahal talaga magpa-test. And then when you test more people, your numbers really go up. Yun daw kinakatakot ng ibang mayors na tipong
actually, alam mo pinakamalaking problema ng contact tracing are the people themselves. Pag kinakausap mo sila ng mga contact tracers namin, they do not tell the truth. More often than not, hindi mo sasabi yun. Kasi pag tinanong mo, sino yung mga kasama mo? Hindi sila magsasabi na, itong event na to, mga 10 ho kami. Hindi na sabi na, 2 lang ho kami yan. But the truth is, talagang marami.
Why so? Did you analyze it, Gobs? Bakit? Ayaw nilang invade yung privacy ng mga tao or i-threaten?
Ayaw nila na makasakit ng damdamin na ibang tao because siyempre in contact tracers, if they know na I was with 10 people, the work of the contact tracers is to call those 10 people.
That's true.
And then nagiging exponential siya. So sila naman, ayaw nila magsumbong.
Yeah. So,
grabe.
grabe.
That's why it's very important is sa contact tracing yung, kami, we developed a QR code app for contact tracing. And it's a unified QR code. Anywhere you go in Ormoc City, you only use one QR code.
Okay.
So when you go to the mall, kukunan ka ng i-scan ka. When you go to the store, i-scan ka. And if something happens around the time that you're there in one area, biglang may nag-positive, i-red flag ka, you will receive a text or an email saying that at this particular time, in this particular day, there was one person that was tested positive. And you were there during that time. So we ask you to see a doctor or get yourself tested. Yes.
Galing. Kasi, well, in Pasig also, you are with 5 cities, Dodot?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Duyong, yeah.
Yeah, we have yung tinatawag na Pasig Pass. Tama.
Correct. Na ang maganda, kunyari, from Pasig, you go to Mega Mall or Shangri-La, ano yon? Parang nagkaka-connect. You know why? Because the developer yata of that app, talagang pinakita pati Taytay, I think, and some other cities, even Valenzuela. Actually, yung Valenzuela nag-start, di ba? So 5 kayong cities na intertwined na yun na lang app na yun. Bakit natin hindi magawa, Dodot, ng mas malakihan yan?
Actually, yan ang tanong, no? Dapat meron tayong national QR code system or tracing system, which I think they tried to launch a few times, but unfortunately, parang hindi nangyari. No?
O kung iiwan nyo ang local politics, yan dapat yung gagawin nyo pag nag-Congress ka or Senate ka, Goma, Dodot. Yan yating gagawin nyo. Well, yun talaga. You think of an intertwined system na papasunod din talaga yung mga tao kasi ngayon localized. And you would see the initiatives of the local government. Saludo kami sa mga mayors sa local government kasi kayo talaga yung heroes on the ground. But the thing is, kayo talaga yung tagatanggap ng iba't ibang polisiya. So bahala kayo kung paano nyo i-apply. So very good contact tracing in Pasig kasi intertwined with a lot of other cities. Pero
the national government need not reinvent the wheel. I mean, it's already there. There's a system that's working and it can be adopted. It can be adopted at the national level. So I honestly, that's why when you ask the question, I don't know the answer. Maybe we can ask someone from the national
Pag
government.
congressman ka na siguro, or goma. Yun ganun kasi parang at least sa Robinson's Galleria hindi na papel at pen, di ba? Pen and paper. Kasi yung iba, tinatanong nasa nagpupunta yung pinifill upan kasi merong ibang malls ganun pa rin, Dodot eh.
That's right. So
tama ka. Wala nang papel.
Wala na. You know, we started our QR code in 2020, summer of 2020. Dinevelop namin yung QR code system namin dito, and then with that QR code system, it can be expanded into other things. Like for example, sa bakuna, or other activities. No, pag may bagong activity, QR code. So you can really track the people. Except that, syempre may security feature yung QR code. Not anybody can just open the QR code system.
That's
like in our system, we need 3 signatures for us to be able to open our vault. No, yung pinaka-server niya para makita namin. Me, the head of the health office in Ormoc, at saka yung city director namin, chief of police namin, 3 kami. We need our signatures before we can open and then track all these people.
Very good.
Otherwise, ang mangyayari doon, you can use it for politics. You can use it for harassing people. You know, you have to be very careful with that data that you have. So what we do after 30 days, ina-expunge namin lahat ng data.
Yeah.
So after 30 days ka na makuha ng QR code mo, mawawala na yun sa system.
Oh. So did you have to ask national government for that, or initiative nyo na talaga yun?
No, that's our own initiative through our own IT office.
Ang galing ang mahal ba?
Magaling. Alam mo,
mahal?
Paswerte ako dito sa Ormoc kasi magaling yung IT people namin dito. Ang galing talaga.
Galing.
Okay, nadala nyo dyan yung Metro Manila NOSA. Sana naman yung iba sa Metro Manila na nauhula na pen and paper pa din. Gayahin na rin yun. Kasi parang...
Actually, you know, the last time I was in Manila was last January.
Oh, mabilis ka lang
Nagugulat na ako. Kailangan pa pumirma sa papel.
Totoo. At hindi mo alam kung saan napupunta kung siniseryoso naman nila yung data na yun, di ba? Ay, anyway. So,
kaya hindi totoo na lahat ng talento nandito sa Metro Manila. Marami sa probinsya talaga.
Totoo naman.
Maraming sa probinsya.
About development, talagang i-devolve ang Metro Manila. Maraming mga, yun nga, we learn from the best practices. So, after that, so tracing talaga, thorough tracing, and now really the app should work, no? So, 30 plus, lalo na siguro ngayong may Delta variant, no? Kailangan mas exhaustive pa yung pagtitrace ng mga tao. Goms, nagkaroon ng problema, sabi ni Mayor Magalong, end of August, end of contract na yung mga contact tracers. So, you had to like give extra allocation for them, no?
Yes, dati kasi merong allocation yung DILG sa mga contact tracers namin. And then, because na-expire yung Bayanihan 2 na funds, pati yung contact ng mga contact tracers nag-expire din.
I wanna ask about it, Goms. Bakit ba? Sa dami lang, may hindi nagastos na galing sa Bayanihan Hilas 1 Act. Kailangan nyo yun. Kayo ba yung nahuling mag-request o talagang wala lang? Ano
hindi, nasa department yun, nasa national agencies yun. Yeah, so sa national agency, when you have your funds, you really have to use it. You cannot hold on to it. I always say na yung mga national government or kahit kami dito sa local government unit, you know, the money that we save are services that was not given to people.
Yeah.
So public funds, you really have to use it. That's why Congress allocates funds every year so that all the national agencies can use it for services, to use it for the people.
Yes. Butin lang di ka kuripot, no? Palagang binibigay mo sa mga tao. We know of some people, dahil tipong kala nila dahil may savings ka, malaking achievement yun. No? But we know
in government, spending is very important.
Because it would show efficiency, di ba? Kung saan mo i-allocate yung mga yan. But now, you're talking about spending. Meron pa ba kayong pera rin now? Kasi now, I think, ang dami niyong pinagkagastusan na hindi niyo na budget from the start, di ba? Well, Gobs, you've been there for how many years? It seems like na hindi mo akalain din naman na magkaka-COVID na ganito. So na parang may realignment of funds, no?
Yes, marami. a lot of programs and projects. For example, yung kunyari gagawa ka ng kalsada, meron kang mga sasacrifice ng mga projects para gamitin mo for your COVID operations.
That's true.
Yes.
And later I'll ask you, di ba, parang we have to live with it. So paano yung, COVID will be a very, very big issue dun sa elections, no? And how efficiently you can handle it because we will live with it. So Dodot, kayo naman sa Pasig, paano yun? How do you maximize things there now? Pero kayo naman yata, walang swerte nyo kasi people trust your government, your local unit. Kaya yung mga private sectors, bigay ng pera sa inyo eh.
Well, Vico has really changed the landscape of local politics in the city of Pasig kasi napakalaki ng tiwalang binigay ng tao sa kanya nung nakarang eleksyon kasi he really stood on a platform of change. Now, unfortunately, instead of yung mga programa na may susulong niya sana para sa tunay na pagbabago on the ground, inaantala dahil nga dito sa pandemya, tuloy-tuloy naman yung serbisyo niya pa rin. No? At sabi nga niya, yung State of the City address niya ng una, sabi niya, sa minor changes pa lang niya, he's been able to save 20% from the entire budget.
Yeah.
Kung nasa 11 billion na ang budget ng Pasig, you're talking about 2+ billion in savings. Can you imagine? Yeah. Just by making some minor changes and reforms. So
minor changes, ibig sabihin out na yung corruption, di ba? I know a lot of companies are saying, alis na tayo ng Pasig kasi tinutupad talaga nila yung mga rules, which is good kasi people are saying, tama yung palakad kasi parang hindi siya natatakot. Yung mga tiwali, matatakot talaga, pero yung may trust yung mga investors na hindi palakasan yung ginagawa.
That's correct. At saka hindi lang yun. Pati ngayon, ang private sector, kusa nagbibigay. Kasi alam nila, yung konti nilang tumutulong sa kapwa, makakarating at makakababa doon sa talagang nangangailangan. Lalo na sa mga kapatid nating mahihirap.
That's true. Ganun nga yung case nila. So, the private sector, yun, malaki yung tulong sa inyo kaya you get by. Now we talk about treatment. So, Goms, you're talking about 3 hospitals. Ano pa yung extension? Di ba have you converted mga major sites to medical facilities? Parang ganon?
Yes. We have one local hospital that we converted into a purely COVID hospital. No, for the masses to. Those who cannot afford to enter private hospitals, they go to our local hospital na tinawag namin na Unified COVID Hospital. And then the funds that we use here, joint funds to coming from the local government, and yung allocation coming from our congresswoman, si Lucy.
Buti nga by ganong allocation, no? Pero kumusta? Are you working independently na from DOH? Kasi yung tipong meron ba, of course there's coordination, but somehow, di ba, parang somehow the local mayors would know what's best for their cities eh.
Yes, but it's still very important for us to coordinate with the DOH.
That's
yes.
true.
But more than that, it's very important also to always allocate funds for this program, especially for COVID. Kaya ang laki rin ng tulong nung funds na nakukuha ni Lucy, no? Coming from the DSWD, coming from other agencies, and then nilalagay niya dito sa COVID operations namin. She has given us siguro over almost 100 million already. So ang dami na natulungan talaga dito sa Ormoc City and sa district.
Buti naman. But the thing here is, let's talk about DOH, no? Goms, when you got COVID, did you use ivermectin?
No, I did not.
Kasi si Mayor Magalang mismo sabi niya, I was the one who asked Baguio, the Baguio people, to use it. Kasi yung kanyang bakuna daw kokonte, and for some people who find it like effective, sabi nila that's a choice. Kasi even if the DOH people daw hindi raw siya ma-accost, dahil sabi niya, buti sana kung may bakuna kayo. Kami niyang gano'n. So, kayo, ano yung rule mo dyan? So you didn't have to take ivermectin?
No, I was given a different drug. I was given an Avigan.
Okay.
No? Yes.
Okay.
Although it's not regular yet sa mga butika, it's for compassionate use only.
Yes.
No, but the drug was very expensive. No. But in regards to taking medications for COVID, it's really the choice of the patient kung ano gusto niyang kunin. If they want to use ivermectin, it's totally their choice. For as long as it's consulted with a doctor.
That's true. Kasi yun
Yeah.
nga, parang ako naman, pareho kami ni Go. He's one of the first people I had to tell na, okay, I got COVID. Sabi ko, buti na lang I didn't have symptoms to merit yung parang to make me decide to take ivermectin, no? Kasi kung may symptom ka raw, baka you'll be forced to use it. I can't also use yung organic na isa pa, yung Chinese did you take that? Linwa. Because when you have high blood pressure daw, you can't take it. Kasi baka tumaas pa lalo yung blood pressure mo. So, parang ako, with the conflicting things, and even congressmen nga saying, promoting ivermectin and doing that, no? Parang, yun yung rule, no? Somehow, kahit sabihin ng DOH na bawal, people on the ground are saying, okay, wala kaming ibang alternative. Do you feel that in your locality, Goms?
Because there are a lot of poor people here. Whatever's available na binibigay sa kanila, they really take it. Yes.
That's true. Pero sabi mo nga, ang magandang clincher doon, basta may advice yung doctor.
Mas importante, supervised by a doctor.
That's true.
Yes. Some doctor will advise the use of ivermectin. Some doctors will use a different drug. So, kanya-kanya.
Correct.
Yes.
Dot, kayo dyan, do you take ivermectin once per 2 weeks? Every 2 weeks?
Actually, I do. And I've asked also my family, my kids to take it.
Okay.
I've spoken to enough doctors to be convinced that it's really one of the cheapest alternatives to help protect you. Yeah.
That's true.
So
okay, since if ever maging congressman ka, tatanungin, what's taking Congress or parang our bigger system approve it at this point?
Actually, right now, I believe that the DOH is already on or is continuing to do tests on it and the trials, and I think they'll be coming up with a statement, in the next few weeks or month or so, because especially with this Delta variant out there, we don't know how to protect the people, and we can't live locking down our economy, our people forever. And it's cheaper to buy. It's cheaper to buy a small pill that will protect you from this. And again, the side effects of ivermectin has been shown through the years to be very, very minimal, if not zero. Mm-hmm. And it's been effective in other countries as well. So why can't we adopt it, as a cheaper alternative? But natin bubuksan yung ating publiko para magkasakit kung isang gamot na katulad ng ivermectin magiging solusyon sa problema natin.
Pero at least hindi ka nag-mass gathering para mamigay lang ng ivermectin. Goma, hindi mo naman gagawin ng kasawayin kita pag gagawin mo yan. Pero some people kasi have politicized it na kunyari, isang barangay hall, tapos naka-advertise pa, etc. Ginagawang political issue. So, pero yun nga, parang the bigger issue really is, why don't we have the studies yet? No, di ba? Parang it's really taking time when people may need it or parang it can be an alternative. So, that's part of the treatment. But Gom, sinabi mo ang mahal. Mahal nung gamot. Pero pati remdesivir, di ba? Ang mahal. Diba? Parang, so paano kayo nagkakaroon ng ganyan sa Ormoc? Parang nag-hoard pa kayo before the pandemic?
There are doctors and hospitals here na nagsa-stock up sila ng mga prescription drugs na gano'n, like remdesivir, Avigan, or ivermectin. They keep a certain number of that for patients.
Kasi sa amin, with the surge now, kailangan ready yung mga hospitals. Huh?
Always. And you'll never know. Sometimes, even no matter how strict we are in Ormoc, we still get an average of about, say, 20 to 30 infections a day. And then sometimes, nagsa-surge kami over 100. So, hindi mo makita kung yung trend kung saan nanggagaling, bakit bigla tumataas, biglang bumababa. So, bantay lang talaga. That's the best thing you can do. Bantay, information campaign, telling people, pati yung mga pulis, yung visibility, nagraradyo sila sa mga tao, tinasabihin sila na, wear your mask, wear your shield, or maghiwalay-hiwalay kayo. That's the best thing that we can do. Ang hirap talaga pag, kunyari, we cannot live on just locking down people all the time.
That's true.
We cannot. Yeah. You can do it once in a while just to control it para yung surge medyo huminto. But after that, you cannot do it again and again and again.
Yes. And they should look at government na tipong, okay, because all the other industries outside their country, nag-open naman na, but they can manage. So, at sumusunod naman yung mga tao kung gusto natin eh. Hindi mo nakikita naman natin at strict. Ang ano lang talaga, kailangan consistent, kailangan kalma na may ito yung plano, dito tayo papunta at papaintindi talaga sa kanila.
I think it's very important that people are always informed of yung direction na gusto natin puntahan.
Yes.
No, and then the people should be informed why there's a need to do such move.
Yeah.
Kasi pag hindi naintindi, pag hindi fully informed ng tao, nagkakagulo.
How do you do that there? Mayor Magalong does the 4 o'clock parang town hall, parang Facebook live siya palagi, di ba, sa Baguio? Ikaw paano mo ginagawa dyan sa Sa
ganun din. Ako naman, every week, meron ako parang press conference. I do it live.
Yeah.
And I tell the people, itong week na to, ito yung direction na gagawin natin. Ito yung mga executive orders na kailangan natin gawin. Sundin nyo lang ito, hindi tayo magkakaproblema.
At ang tatay ko nagbibisaya. Yun talaga yung pinakonti. Well, talaga natuto siya talagang magsalita ng Bisaya para Ormoc. Ibang klase. Hindi mo akalain, Dodot, no? So next Romo will do that. Dot kayo sa Pasig. May ganun ba si Vico? I know si Vico naman is heavy on Facebook Live na hanggang Sunday, nagsasign ng mga papers at explain niya talaga yung mga pinagagawa niya sa Pasig.
At saka he's very active sa social media. So yung ibang platforms niya like yung sa Twitter niya at saka sa Instagram, sa Facebook, he always posts yung mga ginagawa niya at saka yung mga direksyon na kailangan gawin ng mga local heads niya, etc. So people are also very informed. But they know what he's doing, and I think it's also importante rin kasi yung naaabot ka ng tao at nakakausap ka. So yung mga problema sa ground nakakarating agad sa mga sa ating mayor, 'di ba? Kasi kung hindi nila alam yung problema sa ground, paano nila actionan ng tama? So kailangan talaga may access yung tao sa iyo.
Correct. Tama yung sinabi ni Goma kanina, parang dapat transparent, dapat communicated well sa mga tao, at yun hindi yung takot dapat maintindihan nila kung saan papunta yung direksyon ng COVID response. Now, so we finished testing, tracing, treatment. Ito na, vaccination. Everyone's talking about ramping up vaccination, lalo ng may Delta variant. So, what's the status now, Goma, of vaccination in the city?
Well, what we did in Ormoc, we bought our own vaccine. Although yung COVAX nagpapadala pa rin dito.
Okay.
So, tuloy-tuloy lang yung tuloy-tuloy lang yung vaccination namin dito. Every day meron kami dito.
But
we average about mga 5,000 to 6,000 vaccinations, people every day.
Buti, pero hindi kayo nauubusan kasi medyo political daw din, Goma. Totoo ba yun? Like some people are asking for vaccines pero hindi sila nabibigyan. Buti naman nabibigyan kayo.
It's because of, again, because of the number of available vaccines na dumarating. It's not really, for now, it's not really enough for all of us.
That's true.
Kaya yung allocations, ginagawa na pinoproportion nila sa mga lugar. Even if we ask for, let's say, 10,000 shots, they cannot give us 10,000 shots.
Okay.
So we have to live with what we have.
Pero Goms, we were texting about this before. Yung vaccine hesitation dati, grabe, no? Lalo na sa mga urban poor communities. They waited for people. Yun, sabi mo nga, kahit anong information campaign dyan, ang pwedeng makakonvince ng tao, word of mouth. Yung nakita nila na, okay, nag-work kay ganito, so mag-work din yan sa atin. So,
yung ginawa kasi namin, we bought our own allocation, we bought our own vaccine. So kami, I really mandated our city health office na dapat lahat ng mga barangay kapitan to go on an information campaign.
Yes.
Na kailangan, pagdating ng bakuna, magpapabakuna sila, especially yung mga senior citizens namin dito.
That's true. Kasi mahirap yung senior citizen kasi sila yung tied to their old ways at yun parang kinakabahan sila. So, the best way is parang witnessing Yung parang, nangyari sa akin, epektibo, wala namang nangyaring side effects. Or kung, at least mauuna yung bakuna kaysa yung sakit. Pero, kumusta? Like, kasi ang problema sa Metro Manila, and Dodot knows this, people now are convinced to get vaccinated but we lack vaccines. Ganun ba yung nangyayari ngayon sa probinsya rin?
Well, in other provinces, yes.
Sa inyo, hindi naman.
I cannot say na kulang sa amin because ako, I understand the whole problem of the Department of Health. No, we only have so much. We're fortunate that a lot of countries are also donating to the Philippines, and it's helping us sa vaccination drive natin. So, as a local mayor, it's important na kung ano yung dumating, dapat ibigay mo agad sa mga tao. Dapat maubos mo in 1 or 2 days.
That's true. Dapat efficient at hindi nakaklog sa iisang lugar.
Yes. Dapat spread out. You know, just to so that people will understand, ang laki ho ng land area ng Ormoc City is almost the size of Metro Manila.
Oh, yan.
So, and then we have 110 barangays. So, makita mo, spread out talaga yung services dapat. Kailangan mabilis yung pagdala ng mga bakuna sa iba-ibang lugar ng Ormoc City.
So parang kung paporma ka na leader, gusto mo yung isang centralized area kasi para for visibility. But if you're really serious about getting to the mga barrios and all, dapat yon i-devolve talaga yan.
Yes.
Dot kayo, kumusang vaccination? Di ba dito sa Metro Manila, kanya-kanya na, may bakuna nights, di ba, may mga ganon, may 24-hour bakunahan, di ba ngayon? Kasi talagang we're racing against the Delta virus. So kumusta kayo sa Pasig?
In Pasig, we have deployed about 403,000 vaccines to date. No, so meron na tayo mga 170 plus thousand na dalawang and then another 232,000 single dose. So we're on the right track. Okay. We're on the right track, but we're far from getting herd immunity at this point in time because
sabihin mo Dodot kasi hindi pa nagpapakita ng biceps si Vico, hindi katulad ni Mayor Zamora ng San Juan, di ba? Okay.
Kasi ang problema na natin yung supply tama naman, we cannot as much as possible we're reliant basically on the national government and what the national government's allocations per city will be, and wala naman control ng local government unit dyan. Sila nagde-decide niyan. So at the end of the day, you just have to wait and make do with, be ready. Be ready. Pero katulad ng sinabi mo kanina, yung vaccine hesitation, especially here in Metro Manila, and napakataas. I think the estimate is about 50%. It's about 50%. This was about 2 weeks ago until nagsalita ang ating Pangulo na sinabi niya, marami siyang mga pronouncements. Of course, yung iba, in jest na sinasabi, sa katuwaan niya na nabanggit. Pero alam mo, ang laki ng epekto pag ang Pangulo mismo nagsabi at nagputos. Nakikinig ang tao sa kanya na kailangan magpabakuna. So I think now more people are applying and they want to get themselves vaccinated, especially with the onset of this Delta variant, which is that's very scary. It's very scary.
Pero kailangan talaga naman natin matumbasan yung supply dun sa the people wanting to get the vaccines. Question, Gobs, I know you ordered your vaccines ahead of time, pero are they coming in the time na kailangan mo or parang kailangan nyo rin maghintay?
We ordered
one of the first mayors na nag-order talaga earlier ng AstraZeneca naman ganyan. So
we ordered ours last January.
Yeah.
So, dumating lang last week yung first batch namin.
Oh my God.
So ganun talaga. That's a kind of that's a timeline na hinihintay ng lahat ng mayors. Matagal talaga dumating, number one because of again supply. Hindi ganun kabilis mag-manufacture ng vaccine. And then all countries in the world are asking for their own allocation. So kami, maswerte na kami na meron ng dumating plus yung COVAX allocation na dumating sa amin. Yes. Tapos, what's important also now, that yung mga tao, pag sinabi magpalista talaga. Pag sinabi sa kanila, dumating ka ng alas 9 ng umaga, dumating ka ng ganung oras.
Oo. Pero kasi dito may Netflix, may iba pang distraction sa inyo. May Netflix din naman sa Ormoc, pero parang kailangan pag sinabi ni Mayor, yun talaga yung focus ng araw ninyo. No? Pero wala kanila yung Pero hindi naman kayo yung tipong, no work pag hindi kayo bakunado. Kasi Goms, ito ngayon yung well, dahil lockdown, alam mo yan, Dodot, dito sa Metro Manila, the business establishments are saying, ano yung incentive namin? na bakunado yung mga tao. We're calling on people to get vaccinated. We vaccinated our staff, our people, and now we still cannot open. We don't have incentives. What do you do there, Goms?
Dito, wala, no? Wala ka doon sa state na pag hindi ka nabakunuhan, hindi ka pwedeng pumasok sa isang lugar, no? Dito, we encourage people to get vaccinated. We understand na hindi enough yung supply at they come in trickles. So until talagang sobra yung supply natin, I guess that's the only time that we can mandate people na pag hindi ka nagpapakuna, hindi ka makakapasok dito. But for now, we cannot do it yet.
Sarap, mag-Ormoc na muna tayo, Dodot.
Presko pa hangin dyan, presko hangin.
Sabi ko nga, pag lumayas ako ng Maynila, it's either Baguio or Ormoc. Dot, kayo dyan sa Pasig, paano yan? Kunyari, ngayon, di ba, there are a lot of business establishments there and people are complaining. Sabi ko, we're calling on people para maging bakunado, pero ngayon, bakunado sila, pero i-close pa rin kami ngayong ECQ or MEGCQ. Yun parang, how do you answer that? Ano yung incentives nga nila aside from libreng iced tea, di ba? May mga ganong part na tipong bring your vaccination card. Pag bakunado na kayo, double jab, meron kayong libreng ganyan, ice cream or coffee.
Right.
Pero ngayon, parang yung mga businesses umaaray na tipong lahat sarado, Goms, wag ka muna umuwi dito sa Maynila. Walang dining, di ba? Wala talaga restaurant dining, wala kahit alfresco, wala, Dodot.
Ito nga itong past few months, medyo business started picking up already. Medyo people started feeling as semblance normalcy. No? Kahit nakatiting. Yung problema ngayon, bigla balik na naman tayo sa lockdown. But I think everyone understands na, especially when you are informed that nanonood ka ng balita at nakikita mo na nangyari naman sa India, nangyari din sa Indonesia, nangyari na sa Thailand, Vietnam, kumakalat. I mean, even in America kung saan supposedly highest rate of vaccine ang Amerika, pero dun sa areas na talagang walang bakuna, talagang kumakalat ang Delta variant. So I think people in the business sector understand this and they're also willing to take a step back so that we can move a couple more steps forward pagdating naman after ng 2 weeks na lockdown. So magtyaga-tyaga muna tayong lahat, talaga kapit-kapit muna tayo dito at kakaraos tayo.
Pero ito na, I'll push it lang, Dot, ha? Kasi pag tinanong yung efficacy ng mga vaccines, yun talaga, Astra pwede pa, yung Pfizer pwede pa, yung Moderna pwede pa, pero yung sinasabi, okay, may protection ka pa rin naman kahit Sinovac. Pero ngayon, para sinasabi nila, Sinovac daw, pinakamaliit na pwedeng panangga dun sa Delta variant. So parang, should we also re-examine or purchase or wala talaga tayong magagawa dun?
Well, ako nagpabakuna ako, Sinovac ako.
Pareho tayo, Dodot. Pero that saved me from my COVID. I was telling Goma. But the thing here is, I'm now thinking of getting my second vaccine.
Pero what we have to understand kasi is ang vaccine is not there as a cure. It's not there para hindi ka naman bulletproof pagdating ng bakuna, di ba? Kahit anong brand pa yan.
That's true.
Bottom line lang is hindi ka magkakaroon ng malalang simptomas at hindi ka mamamatay. That's the point of the vaccine. When it comes to Sinovac, when they were saying in, I think it was Indonesia that they had some healthcare workers report. But when you do the math, you're still talking about less than half of 1%, which is, at the end of the day, you're still protected. So, again, alam mo nakakatakot kasi pag bumaba at nakausap mo yung tao sa baba, they get their news primarily from Facebook.
That's true.
A lot of the news that they read on Facebook has not been screened. So hindi tayo sigurado dun sa nababasa nila. Pero napupulot yung utak ng ating ibang mamamayan at nalalason sila. So sana we have to verify yung ating mga balita. Magbasa tayo, huwag tayo nakakatakot tapos nagbabagong isip ng tao pagdating sa ganyan eh. So, and
the alarmist yung mode,
The worst part is meron pa mga tao ngayon na walang magawa sa buhay, sila pa ang gumagawa ng mga fake news.
Yeah, that's true.
Sa gitna ng pandemya, maawa naman kayo. Diba? Gulong-gulo na nga ang Pilipinas. Dadagdagan nyo pa.
That's true.
Matakot naman kayo sa Diyos nyo.
Totoo yun. Pero ang ganda lang kasi later, parang ang social sin din para pag-usapan yung politika ngayong pandemya, no? Para we'll get there, pero mas priority talaga pandemya. So Gobs, dun sa vaccination na yan, well, ikaw kasi AstraZeneca, parang at alam mo yung mas malakas na epekto. So you ordered talaga the vaccine that can protect you more. Pero yun nga, kung may donation naman ng Sinovac, kukunin mo na rin. Pero
yes.
anong impact niyan sa purchases nyo ng vaccine? Kasi alam ko yung allocation mo talaga, mas mabigat yung efficacy.
Oo. Alam mo yung pagpili ng vaccine na yan, Noel, kung ano talaga yung pinaka-available at the time, yun kagad in-order namin.
Correct.
And at the time, ang available
lang to
order
hindi ka
was
naman
AstraZeneca.
Pero hindi ka naman nag-order ng Sinovac. Ang galing mo doon.
Oo, kasi yung time na we were talking to them, what was available was AstraZeneca.
Yes.
Oh, now with regards to yung dinadala ng national government ng mga vaccine dito, kahit anong dumating dito, tinatanggap namin.
Of course.
And what's really important is really the implementation.
That's true.
No? Especially for Moderna and for Johnson & Johnson kasi yung
Uy, nakaabot yan ng Johnson & Johnson. Swerte mo, ha?
Of course. Alam mo naman dito, no?
Buti nakaabot yan. One job lang. Pero normally daw, sana binibigay yan sa senior citizen, di ba? Yung Johnson & Johnson.
Oo. In fact, as we speak today, these are third batch ng Johnson & Johnson na binibigay namin sa tao.
O mag-Ormoc na nga tayo doon. Johnson & Johnson.
Hindi, alam mo when you come from a not so very rich city, kung ano yung dumating sa'yo, tanggapin mo talaga. And then you have to make sure that it is given to the people efficiently.
That's true.
Doon nila nararamdaman yung tamang serbisyo. So hindi mo kailangan na magpolitika, magpakita sa mga tao na nandun ka sa vaccination mismo. Mas importante, when they get there, within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, tapos sila and then makalabas sila kaagad.
Ang galing naman. Pero hindi ka pa rin nagpapakita ng biceps dyan, Gom? Or hindi mo na kailangan magpakita ng biceps dyan?
Pwede.
Anyway, next. So we talked about Ayuda also, the kinds of vaccine. Can you talk about education now? Well, it's in the forefront of your program. Kumusta? Kaya na ba ng face-to-face? And well, of course, Juliana is proof, no, that you can have education while you're there in Ormoc. So that online education. Pero iba pa rin yung totoo, no? Pero we have to make do with the situation. What's the situation there in Ormoc?
You know, Noel, Dodot, if there's a good thing about COVID, the good thing about it is that I am with my family, even if Juliana's studying school. No?
UP, yeah.
Sabi ko lang kay Juliana, sabi ko, alam mo, ang hindi mo lang naranasan sa UP is that you'll be there for 4 years.
Yeah.
Naka-experience sila ng 1 year sa campus.
Correct.
At least kami nakailan taon kami sa campus, no?
Correct.
Oh,
hindi pa siya bola-bola at mga ganyan, di ba? Well, hindi niya na-enjoy yung... At sarado ngayon yung oval ulit, Goma. So that's how sad it is, no?
Yes. And then yung with regards to face-to-face, I don't think we are ready for that yet. No, especially with the Delta variant. Parang delikado pa.
Kinatamaan yung mga kids sa Delta variant. Diba?
Yes. So, I think the directive will be pagdating ng September, pagdating ng pasukan, I don't think magkakaroon ng face-to-face. That is my vibe. That's what I feel as a mayor. Because I will not allow face-to-face yet in Ormoc City if they will say that. Kasi hindi pa talaga eh. Hindi pa kami 100% na vaccinated. Ilan pa lang yung na-vaccinate sa Ormoc City. So, just to protect our people, anyways, nagawa na natin for more than a year na mag-online classes sila. We can do it for another year.
And tuloy yung pag-aaral, di ba? Pero hindi mo i-risk talaga.
Yes.
Well, Dodot, in my talk with my student, si Mikey, no? Ang role daw niya sa inyo ay yung pagsiset up ng mga computers sa bahay. Yun lang daw. Kasi sabi niya, the kids are pretty well on their own, no? In attending to their online classes. But what do you think? Ano yung impact sa inyo ng pamilya? Di ba? They have their own thing already. And then, ito yung mahirap. Kasi si Goma, dalaga na eh. Yung parang college na. Yung sa inyo, mga bata pa.
Hindi naman. Meron na rin akong dalawa sa college.
Malaki na yung anak ni Dodot.
Malaki na rin. meron kayong pseudo teachers din kayo, di ba? Parang yung hindi nyo pa rin nasasagot yung mga assignment ng mga anak nyo, sabi ni Mikey.
Ako nasasagot ko, pero hindi ko lang.
Ang sama. With technology naman yung asawa.
Joke lang yan, joke. Baka magalit yung asawa ko sa akin. Dadagdagan yung lalabahan ko.
Nasa Japan naman ngayon, so okay lang.
No, I have two college boys. No, Robbie is 21 and Rafael is 19. Yung isa nasa Ateneo, yung isa nasa UST. Gusto mong mag-doktor nung isa. So, nakakaawa nga sila kasi nga they got used to hanging out with their friends, building their social life. Kasi this is the best time of your life talaga in college. No? Unfortunately, they have to stay at home. And lalo na I have a 13-year-old. No, he's grade 7 now. And he will be entering grade 8 na. So, talagang nakakaawa sila kasi nahirapan din sila. I mean, it's human nature para sa atin that we want to commingle, we want to have a social life, to talk to people and exchange ideas. And now, butin lang meron ganito, may kwentuhan pa rin online, di ba? So, meron pa rin mga blessings. But the biggest blessing talaga is that like Mikey used to travel 10, 12 times a year. The whole year, last year, up to this Olympics, she was stuck at home also. So we got to spend a lot of time together as a family. Dahil yun talaga yung mga blessings, no, na silver lining na nakikita natin dito sa pandemya nangyayari.
So back to basics talaga, no? It's really faith, family, friends, food. Sabi nga, food for the body, healthy food for the body, and healthy food for the soul. Yun yung pinapanood ko pa rin YouTube cooking channel mo, pare. Okay. Maganda. Meron na rin si Lucy ngayon. Di ba? Parang it's a good diversion.
Talking about mga ganon, Dot, alam mo, natuwa ako when I saw the advertisement of your dad. Nandun kayo na nakaupo ka sa kotse. Did you see that? I saw it the other day. Sabi ko, ang bata ni Dodot dito, nakaupo sa Toyota. It's really nice ba?
Huwag mo na paalala, baka hanapin nila yung year model nung Toyota, bahala tayo edad ko.
No, but I wanna ask that, Dot, you're dealing also with senior citizens like your dad. And kumusta na siya? Well, he's a living legend and ang hirap. Ikaw yung responsibilidad mo yung dad mong yan.
Yeah, of course. Well, both my parents are also in their 70s already, so medyo they're already getting older. So we just have to take care of them, make sure na they keep healthy, they keep.
But do they follow you?
Well, excuse me.
Do they follow you? Do they follow you? Like kunyari, they're vaccinated, no?
Yes. They're vaccinated na rin. Oo.
Pero yung di ba, isang taon na hindi nakakalabas yung mga senior citizens? Paano yun?
It's really tough. It's really tough, no. Actually, it's tough not just on seniors. It's tough also like kanina sinabi natin mga bata. I mean, pati naman sa atin mahirap din, di ba? It's really really hard. It's really a change of lifestyle.
Lalo na for a sports legend, no? Parang iba yung parang hinahanap mo yung ganong activity. So, well, si Dodot froze in a while. Goms, ikaw, Juliana's there, the whole family's there. Ano pa yung cargo mo dyan, aside from the whole city? Well, who else? Well,
siguro, I'm fortunate that I have a small family. It's just me, Juliana, and Lucy. It's easy to manage. So a big part of my time is really taking care of the people of Ormoc.
Buti nga.
Yeah.
And we know that the way we handle our families or the way we handle kunyari, government too, no? Parang transparency, the foresight, di ba, the systems. And
a big part of how I manage Ormoc is how I manage my family as well.
That's true. Yeah. Yun. Oh, see? That's the life mode. That's the conversation between friends. We feel that we're conversing that way and we've become adults already. Our concerns are no mga bata tayo, iba pa. But when we come back, we talk about sports and local governance. So, yun, si Dodot ba tatakbo ulit? Goma, yung tatanungin natin.
I hope he does.
Will he gone for local government? Like kunyari, running mate of Vico in Pasig, or will he become congressman? Tanungin natin. But yun nga, parang kayo naman hindi nyo na kailangan ng ng posisyon. Tapos ikaw, Goms, will you run as mayor? You're doing well as a mayor there, but then you can be congressman. 2 weeks I campaigned for you as senator even before. Pero yun na nga, ano ba yung need ngayon? Pero parang, in a sense, sinabi ko nga, parang people ought to focus more on the COVID situation more than the elections, number one. Number two, we have to talk about sports because you're both into sports. And Goma, you were with the athletes before. Anong tawag doon? Yung parang you were the major sports figure of the country representing them in the World Championship, or Asian?
Yeah, well, I'm the president of the Fencing Association,
Yes.
and the president of the Modern Pentathlon Association. So I take care of athletes in those fields.
That's it. And you went there as their parang pinaka-leader, no?
Yes.
Now that the Olympics is wrapping up by Sunday, uwi na si Mikey Dodot. So ready ka na dyan. We will talk about the performance of the athletes in the Olympics. Okay, and what changes on what reforms or what other incentives should we have for athletes at the mga training programs na on hindsight ngayon, nakikita natin na kailangan pala nila for us to win more medals in the next competition. So we would talk about that when we come back in Level Up. Good. Galing.
Sipagin na natin to para samahan niyo na ako. Wag mo na kayang palakasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palakasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tenanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lakas ng kalooban, lakas ng katawan, wala kang
Live in all caps. Ito po si Jenny Robredo sumusuporta sa ating minamahal na multi-awarded multimedia guru Noel Ferrer sa kanyang pagle-level up. Kaya Ateneo, level up!
level up.
Happy victorious 3rd anniversary Radyo Katipunan, and congratulations to my very good friend Noel Ferrer of Level Up for all awards you have been receiving. It's such a great honor and privilege na mag-guest po sa inyong show last year. It was so much fun doing that interview, considering that I was still grieving the loss of my mom and my beloved sister. It's really nice to talk to my good friend, kapatid na Noel. It's always a pleasure. Please take care of yourself and stay safe and healthy. Sa kahit na ano pong gagawin natin, kailangan po tayong mag-level up. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for your service, and God bless you more and more.
Happy 3rd anniversary sa Radyo Katipunan, at syempre, congratulations din kay Sir Noel ng Level Up. Thank you for always sharing the message of hope during these uncertain times, and I pray that you will always be a source of inspiration for your community. Once again, congratulations and happy 3rd anniversary.
Voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan, 87.9.
Hello! Ako po si Joey De Leon at ako po ay bumabati sa Radyo Katipunan sa kanilang anibersaryo. Kung nabubuhay lang si Bonifacio, tiyak sasabihin niya, "So good, mga kapatid! So good!" Lalo na ang palatuntunan ni Noel na level up. In English, level up. In Tagalog, kataas-taasang Radyo Katipunan. Congratulations! Tandaan nyo, ang Radyo Katipunan, lalo na ang level up ni Noel. So good, mga kapatid.
The voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9.
Sa Radyo Katipunan, happy 3rd anniversary po sa inyo. Thank you for connecting us with one another during these difficult times. At pati kay Sir Noel ng Level Up, congratulations din po sa inyo. Thank you for bringing to us stories of inspiration and stories of excellence. Ako po si Vico Soto na nagsasabing basta't sama-sama tayo, patuloy na umaagos ang pag-asa at patuloy tayong mag-level up.
The voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9.
Congratulations for the 3rd year anniversary of Level Up, and congratulations, Noel, for all the awards and recognition you've been receiving for you and your program. And syempre, I'd like to thank you and to congratulate you for having the virtue of always speaking the truth and always standing for what is right and what is good. So again, congratulations at sana matagal na matagal pang yung programa at ang iyong kontribusyon sa ating industriya. Again, congratulations!
Hi Noel, my friend. Congratulations on the success of your online show, Level Up. 3 years old na and it continues to reap awards. So friend, continue to serve our people, our industry, and our country. And bilang kaibigan, kung may maitutulong ako, friend, I will always be here, okay? Just a text away. So please keep up the excellent work. Pareho tayo ng advokasya pagdating sa bakuna. Meron lamang kung gustong ibigay na mensahe para sa ating mga kababayan. Okay? Mga kababayan, magpabakuna na po tayong lahat. Ang vaccine po ay para po sa ating kaligtasan at hindi po ito dapat katakutan. Ililigtas po tayo nito sa pandemyang COVID-19. Kaya huwag na po tayong mag-atubili na magpabakuna. Do it for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for our country. Kaya magparehistro na po kayo at siguraduhin po na magpabakuna. Malalagpasan din po natin ang pagsubok na ito. This is Congresswoman Ate V, and may God bless us all. Salamat.
Hanggang ulan, level up, tumiting ka, level up, matutupad, go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go, go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Level up, taon na lang pareho din ang iyong pinaplano. Ngayon mo na kailangan ng totoong pagbabago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag.
Goms and Dodot, how do you feel about our finish or our accomplishments in the recent or ongoing Olympics Tokyo?
Well, so far, this is really the best.
Yeah.
This is the best stint natin sa Olympics, and I'm very happy about it. Which began kay Heidelin Diaz.
Yeah.
Every fight na ginawa ng mga Filipino athlete natin, pinanood ko talaga.
Nakita ko nga.
Maaga talaga, pinapanood ko talaga sila.
Kahit may COVID ka doon. So that was your COVID,
At the height of my COVID, I was there watching.
Yes. I can see you posting doon sa IG stories mo na kasi mga atleta kayo and you would cheer for them. Dot, ikaw, your wife was there. Thank you. She was the one who gave Heidelin her medal, and it was such a vindication. Well, it was your wife that introduced me to Heidelin, and sabi niya, Tatang, dapat pagbalik ni Heidelin yung konsensya, nakatapak pa rin sa lupa at yun talagang tama, and then i-guard against the vultures, and we felt that, Dot. So how's everything there? Yung assessment mo sa sports?
Well, actually, yung nabanggit mo, I remember we were in Rio in 2016, di ba? Nung nag-silver medal si Heidelin, and there's a big fanfare, of course, and Mikey said, may isa lang akong tatawagan. Ikaw nga yun. So,
Yeah.
ang galing mo nga, ang galing mo. Laki ng respeto ng wife ko sa'yo.
Oh, the thing here is, parang rehearsal na nung nag-silver siya, Dot eh. Parang ngayon, she's not overwhelmed. She's grounded at walang kayabang-yabang. Yung tipong, okay, pledges yan, so it will help me. But then, parang I didn't win this, para dun sa material things. And okay yun. But Dot, kumusta? With the things now, you think government will support sports more?
Actually, right now, government has been ramping up naman its efforts, especially the national government in supporting sports. And I think people are beginning to realize that you have to really invest in grassroots sports kung gusto mo magkaroon ng national program at the end of the day, and if you want to see medals shown in international competitions, kailangan mo mag-invest sa grassroots sports program. It will not happen overnight. And I think now, yung mga naitanim nung ilang taon, a few years ago, ngayon we're starting to reap the benefits. Kasi alam ni Goma, ang sports nung araw is different today. Now it's very scientific. From the movement to the food you eat to the time you sleep, everything now is really scientific. And if you don't invest in your sports, in your children at a very young age, wala kang medalyang makukuha pagdating ng international competition.
That's true. And Goma, you saw it firsthand when you were with the athletes in international competition. So they would need really training, no?
Oh yeah, and as a mayor, it's very important to have a very good and well-grounded sports program.
Yeah.
The local government will really have to invest a lot of money for a good sports program. Then in the hope that in the future, they'll be able to qualify for the national team, and then pag sa national team, yung mga associations naman, and the PSC and the POC will take care of them.
That's true. Pero ito nga, nung nanonood kami ng boxing, sinabi nila, aside from, apart from weightlifting na talagang kitang-kita mo yung panalo at hindi, no? Ito kasi decision. Did you feel, Goma, for example, because the sports officials were saying, meron ding politika lalo na sa boxing.
Boxing, international boxing, talaga, very controversial yan.
I wanna understand.
Always, kasi, pag din mo sa SEA Games, Asian Games, Olympics, usually very controversial sila. Kaya nga, lagi silang nasa sanction eh. Pati nasa-sanction sila because of, yung favoritism.
Yes.
Yeah. Laging ganon.
So that exists. No, magandang
definitely it does. It really does.
Dot, kasi a lot of our people were saying, oy, dapat panalo yung bet natin doon. Pero parang, decision kasi. So
actually, talagang controversial ang boxing kasi may judging, and you have judges there that at the end of the day, pag hindi mo na knock out yung kalaban mo, there's always that question mark eh. Like itong huling laban ni Marshall, maraming nagsasabi, including myself. I believe that Marshall should have won that.
Okay.
I honestly believe that he should have won that fight. And although it's unfortunate, and we have to I guess respect the judge's decision at the end of the day. Ganun talaga pag may judge eh. So kailangan lang talaga siguro pag-igihan pa ng mga atleta natin, at kung dadating sa mga ganyan katulad na boxing, palakasin mo na lang katawan mo para ma-knockout mo talaga yung kalaban mo. Diba?
That's true. So Goma was talking about a really comprehensive sports program sa local, sa grassroots talaga. What else? As a sportsman mismo, as athletes, anong kailangan ng mga atleta natin?
Importante talaga yun, financial support is very important.
That's true.
Ako, yung ginagawa ko dito, binibigyan ko sila ng allowance through our office, through our sports office. And then pag player ka ng Ormoc City, meron kang education scholarship sa amin.
Good, very
good. So yung eskwela mo in high school and college, kung ano yung mga babayaran doon, ang sasagot doon is yung city na. And then meron kang allowance, meron kang book allowance, meron kang clothing allowance. Yun. So, kompleto sila.
Galing. Pero hindi sila exempted sa school, Goms, ha?
And they have to
go through school.
They have to go to school. I mean, they have to report. Kung ano yung kailangan requirements sa eskwelahan, kailangan gawin nila.
That's Dodot, Jaworski.
Pag bumagsak sila, bagsak talaga sila.
That's Dodot Jaworski in Ateneo. He had to go through school kahit winning team na yung Ateneo, di ba? Parang kailangan mong daanan.
Alas 5 ng umaga, kailangan namin gumising para mag-practice. Di ba?
Correct.
Pagkatapos, pagdating mo sa classroom mo at tutulog-tulog ka, papagalitan ka pa ng professor mo, bakit ka pagod? Sabi ko, ma'am, nag-practice kami kaninang umaga. Wala siyang pakialam.
Hindi excuse. At dapat maabot mo yung QPI, no? Yung average mo pa rin. Kung hindi.
Tama.
So, well, that's it. No? So, Juliana's into sports, Goms. Will she ever do that? Or will get into that level?
Well, she's been training. She's with the UP varsity.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
And she's training for fencing. Hopefully, makapasok siya national team next year.
Okay.
Next year is SEA Games year and Asian Games. So, pag gumanda yung performance niya, makapag-qualify siya sa team.
Ganun eh. Parang extension of
so it's
your
really
team.
up to her. Kailangan galingan niya para maka-qualify siya.
That's true, yes. And it's an extension of the parents. Dot, ikaw, among your children, may susunod ba sa'yo sa magiging athlete?
Wala tinuloy sa college eh. So,
okay.
So, sana nga. I was hoping that they would. But, syempre, I never want to force, you never want to force your child into a sport. Kasi especially, filling the shoes, experience ko, filling the shoes of my father.
Hirap.
The big J. Hindi, kahit anong gawin ko, hindi ko kaya abutin yung inabot ng tatay ko eh. Diba? Yun lang talaga yun eh. Pero expectations ng tao, iba. But I'm lucky kasi ako naman, I was able to navigate through that and I used it as an inspiration for me instead of added pressure. Basta ako, I put it in my head, my mind na I'll do my best, I'll give my 100% of my heart and soul into this sport. Pero kung ano man abot ko, hanggang dyan lang, hindi ko naman kaya abutin yung tatay ko dahil he's one of a kind. Diba?
Pero ang ganda, no? Because of that, you have that sensitivity not to impose on your children. Because even Mikey is a prize equestrian, no? Kung meron man pumunta doon, mahirap din, pressure din sa anak.
So, Noel, Jaworski. Robert Jaworski.
Legend.
Sabi mo sa akin ngayon, sino ba nakaabot na Robert Jaworski? Wala, di ba? Ang hirap talaga.
Dagdagan pa natin, Goma, senador. Dodot, ang hirap. So, talagang pressure, no? So, yun na lang. Parang have really good kids and have a really good family. And what's good is that, Mikey defines it by faith. Yun talaga, grabe rin yung faith life nyo. So, it's something that we all parang admire. Anyway, we're joined in by some of our anchors dito sa Radyo Katipunan. So, Maxine Cruz is our youngest, Goms. She's the pamangkin of Panji Gonzalez. And she's now a student in Ateneo. She'll be asking questions. And then James Wong's here and some of our other interns are coming. So, but Max, good afternoon and happy birthday. Belated happy birthday. Go.
Thank you, Tito. Good afternoon to Mr. Dodot and Mayor Richard. So
Hi.
we were just talking about So we were both just talking about you being athletes. And it's clear that when you're an athlete, when it comes to training and preparing for tournaments and games, you really need discipline and a good attitude. So did this training or did your experiences from being athletes prepare you for your roles in office and lives in public service?
Oh, yes. For me, yes. It was not easy for me to enter public office. I've lost elections, no? And I've won elections also. And with regards to how did it help me as a person, as an athlete, you're trained to fight and win. And then not all battles, not all competitions you join will make you win. So you also have to prepare for defeat. So when I entered politics, yung defeat, I took it like an athlete. I lost today, tomorrow I will prepare for the next election. So ganun yung naging yung psyche ko sa pagiging athlete and politician.
Yun, Max, yung tipong after niyang matalo sa election, parang kami, malungkot pa rin for him. Pero siya, ay naka-move on na siya agad. And I think that's the athletes, parang psyche nga, na tipong, tomorrow's another day, parang start, train for another competition na better. So, yun. Dot, ikaw, go.
Well, of course, when you talk about being in sports, it's actually more of a holistic character development. You learn traits like discipline, perseverance, hard work. And teamwork. So these are values that you can actually use, not just in politics, but in everyday life. The way you run your business, also how you treat people. You have to play by the rules. You have to be fair. So it definitely has molded me into someone that into the man that I am today. And again, I have to say that it really contributes a lot. So that's why we should encourage our youth to partake into sports, to partake in competitive sports, because it will build your character and it will make you a better person.
Ibang klase. Let's have one from James and then back to Max. James?
Hello, good afternoon po,
Hello.
Mayor Gomez
Afternoon.
and Congressman Jaworski. Sirs,
Foreshadowing na yun, Congressman Jaworski daw.
you're coming from, or at least your surnames really have this recall, Gomez and Jaworski. Well, perhaps on my time, kasi bata pa ako, naririnig ko na yung Jaworski being associated with basketball. But how has these...
Magkaedad lang tayo, magkaedad lang tayo.
I mean, how was your surnames or like your your past being from the entertainment or from the sports has motivated you or has pushed you to be in public service?
Well, siguro context na, no? A lot of popular people are being asked to go for public service, di ba? Mga artista, mga sports personalities. Pero, well, is that enough? Is popularity enough? It's good name recall, of course, you can't deny that. But there should be something else, Goms.
Actually, I think it's more difficult if you have a name in sports or in show business. Mas madali kang tirahin.
Sasabihin, here comes the clowns. Parang ganun, send in the clowns.
Parang eto na naman sila, di ba? Parang, it's painful to hear people say that. Yeah, it's really painful for us, especially those especially those mga celebrities na seryoso sa trabaho, na ginagawa ng mabuting trabaho at nakikita na maganda yung resulta. On the other hand, yes, it can help sa elections, but not all the time. No? Yeah.
Well, in my experience, tama, there's that stereotype that if you belong to the world of athletics, that you're basically a jock and you're not that abreast with the situations of the world. But that is so unfair and that is very wrong. I think people should judge others according to their actions and what their capabilities are. Because in my instance, the reason why I entered politics, I actually entered politics before my dad even entered politics. I was a counselor at the age of 23. And the reason why I wanted to enter politics is because my dad always brought me up knowing that whatever we have as a family, whatever he has achieved, kung ano man naabot ng tatay ko, dahil mahal siya ng tao. Dahil sinusuportahan ng mga tao ang lahat ng produktong ini-endorso niya, pinapanood siya maglaro, they cheer for him when he plays, and sabi niya, utang na loob natin sa tao kung ano tayo. So sabi ko when I was young, growing up, that was the mindset that my dad gave me. Sabi ko, kung ganun pala, dapat siguro ay mas maganda kung nasa posisyon ako na kung saan ako pwede mas lalong makatulong sa kapwa. Then that's the reason why I entered politics at a young age.
So it's giving back now. It's payback time. Max, go.
All right. So this was touched on a bit earlier during the break. But a while ago, you mentioned that part of being a public servant is never losing the spirit of service. So to both of you, what makes public service fulfilling?
Oo nga, no? Somehow people think, naghahanap ka ng batong pangpukpok sa ulo mo. Yung tipong ganun, you would have lived.
Politics is a thankless job. I think Mayor Goma will agree na kahit anong gawin mo, you will not be able to please anyone, and I mean everyone.
That's true.
You won't be able to please everyone. But again, politics, the fulfillment is that makatulong ka, makita mong may mag-improve ng buhay dahil sa mga desisyon na ginawa mo, o meron kang nagawang batas na nakatulong, o meron kang mga naibabang konting biyaya para sa tao na naibsan ng kanilang mga problema, na uplift mo yung buhay nila. At more than that, when you are in a position of in government that is respectable, and you are able to give hope to the people, nagbigay ka ng pag-asa, nagbigay ka ng tamang direksyon sa kanila, at nakita mo na may epekto sa long-term na buhay ng mga pamilya ng tao sa baba, yun ang pinakamalaking fulfillment para sa akin.
Goms, ikaw, yeah, you have a very comfortable life, but then you've always thought that more than politics, it's public service. No, parang why?
For the longest time, I've been an anti-drug advocate.
Yes.
Which began in 1998 when President Estrada appointed me as his presidential advisor in youth and sports. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, I created yung Mamamayan Ayaw sa Droga MAD. Yeah. No, so that's where it all began. Then nakita ko na, then I realized na if you really want to help people, you have to be in government, so that you'll be able to use government resources the right way. And then dumating yung time na nakita ko na ang laki ng drug problem dito sa Ormoc City. In fact, Ormoc City used to be the drug capital of Eastern Visayas. So I decided to run here for Congress. Doon ko nakita yung power ng incumbent. Pag meron silang pera, when they have lahat ng connections nila, they can do whatever they want to do to you. But still, nilabanan ko yun. Eventually, si Lucy was the one who was able to sit as a congressman. But then, nagpursige pa rin ako. And then I became mayor. So, all the dreams na gusto ko to give people a good quality of life, to improve their way of life, gumanda yung syudad namin, maging maayos yung sistema ng gobyerno. So it's number one, it's a personal fulfilling. And then what's also fulfilling is pag nakita mo na nag-improve yung buhay ng tao. When you're able to change the way they think, when they're able to change the way they live, they opt to be a better person. And then pinakamasarap is when they want to stay in this place na pinapatakbo mo.
That's true, no? Parang, in the end, intangible yun. No? Parang hindi yung paraan ng pag-iisip at pagmamahal mo doon sa bayan, doon sa community mo, yun yung, it's measurable. It's measurable.
But it's very true. Being in government is really a thankless job.
That's true.
I realized this when I got COVID. Nung nagka-COVID ako, hindi naman lahat sabihin na, sige, Mayor, magpakagaling ka. You receive messages from very few people.
That's true.
You did not receive messages from all the people that you served.
Yes. Grabe rin, Goma, hindi bagay sa yung isolation. Kasi di ba pag nung nagka-COVID kami, nagte-textan kami, no? So, para kang nag-retreat, di ba?
Ayoko na isolation, hindi ko kaya.
Si Goma's the action man, eh. So talagang yun. I knew na hindi mo kaya yung isolation. James, go.
Yeah, from politics, I want to touch some aspects of family. How would you describe yourself as fathers? Are you the strict ones, the disciplinarian, or do you let your sons and daughters explore the world?
Para magkaiba yung dalawa.
Ikaw muna, Dot.
Ako medyo ako strict ako eh.
Ikaw yung strict, I know.
Although alam ko girl yung anak ni Gomo, ako 3 boys ako eh. Pero
strict pa din si Dodot.
Strict pa rin ako eh kasi I don't know, I grew up that way.
Why? Because your dad raised you that way?
Yeah, my dad was strict, pero he was only strict to a point until he realized, which is the same thing I'm doing now with my own kids, na pag nakikita ko naman na responsible sila, mas lalo ko silang pinapabayaan.
Okay. Reward, no? Yeah. Goms, ayusin mo ang internet sa Pasig. Kailangan magandang model ang Ormoc sa internet sa Pasig.
Alam mo, ako naman, my way of bringing up my daughter is people would think na I'm strict. Pero sa totoo lang, mas strict to si Congresswoman Lucy kaya sa akin.
Oo.
Yeah, she's more strict than I am. Ako, I just tell Juliana na, you know, these are the things that I tell her my experiences.
That's true.
And how I deal with people. And then
how you dealt with girls. So you deal with the boys. So you deal with the boys who, who court her. Di ba? Hindi naman siya. Siya pinapabayaan mo pero ikaw, kino-corner mo yung mga lalaki para tinitingnan mo kung extension ng sarili mo ng bata. Pero maganda nga yun.
Ako, I tell her, Juliana, alam mo, nung bata-bata ako, bolero talaga ako sabi ko, ang dami ko ng pinagdaanan. I've had girlfriends and I've had had relationships. So sabi ko, you really have to choose well. Huwag kang magmamadali.
Yeah.
Huwag kang magmamadali. You meet people, you meet friends, be friends with them, know them, and then it's up to you to choose. We will not tell you ito yung piliin mo. Ito yung pakasal mo. It's really you.
That's
kaya importante yun. Importante talaga yung life experience ko na sinasabi ko sa kanya. Ito,
si Lucy
alam mo, sabi ko sa kanya, ganito ko binobola yung babae dati. At ganito rin ako binobola ng babae noon.
Habang si Lucy would really give it to her ng diretso, di ba? And with a lot of prayers though. Talagang dadasalan ko yung mga sitwasyon. But Dodot game, bago ka nawalan ng signal ulit.
De, alam mo, buti na lang ako. I wanted really a girl No? Kasi,
gusto
siyempre,
kong punchline, sabi ng Diyos Dot, nako, baka bumalik sa'yo.
Nakita ko kasi, lima silang magkakapatid ni Mikey. Diba?
Lahat babae.
Family, all girls. Yeah. And nakita ko kung paano nila mahalin, alagaan yung kanilang tatay. So sabi ko, paano na yan pagtanda ko? Sino mag-aalaga sa akin? Tatlo yung lalaki ko, barako. Diba? Wala mag-aalaga sa akin. But now, nakikita ko yung mga kaibigan ko, barkada ko, may mga babae silang anak na teenager na or early 20s. Sabi ko, buti na lang, wala akong babae. Masistress ako.
But the thing here is, ang maganda sa inyo, yung core ng family. In the end, aalis yung mga anak nyo, pero yung kayo ni Mikey, maayos So, yun At Goma and Lucy.
Hindi. Sinabi ko kay Juliana, hindi ka aalis dito.
Talaga? Yun, kunya, si Lucy at si Goma, di ba? There will come a time.
I will make you a house living inside our compound.
Lagot. Pero kayo din naman, di ba, Dot? The Revillas, for example, di ba, your mom's side, isang buong compound, di ba? Do you see yourself doing that when you grow old? Ayan na.
Well, siguro isang compound, pero sana malapit-lapit lang para hindi masyadong malayo. Within the same community naman. Yung walking distance.
Si Goma hindi aalis ng Ormoc. Malayo yung Tacloban na airport pag lumabas ng Ormoc. Max, go! Another question.
All right. So on the topic of families, as devoted fathers, as husbands, how do you ensure spending time with your families despite the busy schedules?
Nagamot yan ng pandemic sa inyo, Goma?
Yes. When there was pre-pandemic, Lucy and Juliana were based in Manila, and I was based here in Ormoc. So what really brought us closer together is really the pandemic. They were forced to come home to Ormoc and stay here. And Juliana, even if she's studying UP, everyone's doing it online. So Juliana's here in Ormoc.
That's true. Dotica.
That's really true. Itong pandemic has brought, ito yung konting silver lining is that family, time spent with family has been incredible. So I hope that in a way I've been able to develop a closer relationship with my own kids. I'm sure they'd rather spend it with their barkada, but
how?
Diba? But since it's not possible, kami muna ang barkada. So yeah, that's the blessing behind all of this.
That's true. That's true. James, another question?
Yeah. On your different capacities, how do you see the young people, or how are you going to involve the young people, especially that nowadays we need a more proactive stance, like for example for the pandemic response and the other needs that we need to address, especially in our society nowadays?
Well, number one, what's really very important for the younger generation is good education.
That's true.
No, and they really have to be informed of what's happening, and it's always very good for our youth to be involved, no, with things happening locally, no. So bagay hindi naman lahat ng bata gusto ma-involve sa mga nangyayari sa politika. Kanya-kanya rin trip eh. Minsan may gusto nila sa sports, gusto nila sa arts. It really depends. But those who wants to be involved in what's happening sa local scene, especially sa local politics, is that to really be involved. Like for example, join the SK, join civic organizations, and that way at a very young age they can already help their community. And then eventually from there they can develop themselves into being politicians, and then they'll be able to help their own place, improve their own city, and give people a better life.
Since most of the listeners here, Goms, are mostly students, no? Kumusta yung participation ng youth ngayon in the pandemic response?
Well, ang laking part ng COVID response namin yung participation ng youth. We really involve them, and kasi in the local government setup dito, I set up a youth office.
Okay.
So, meron kami youth office, meron kaming youth scholarship office. So, all of these offices, ang purong focus ito, puro kabataan lang.
So kasama sila sa pagbibigay ng ayuda, mga ganon. San mo sila tinap ngayong COVID response?
In so many different activities, not just sa ayuda, even sa pag-organize sa mga barangays. Pwede din ng mga vaccination kasi yung mga doctors, yung mga nurses, kailangan din lang ng tulong to organize the people in the barangays.
Okay.
So in so many activities kasama sila, not just education and sports, but yung mga ginagawa sa local scene.
Kasi kailangan talaga involved kasi walang kung
you have to involve them.
Yeah,
you have to involve them.
That's true. Dot kayo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cliche that the sinasabi natin nga yung youth is the future of the country or the nation. But how can they be the future of the country if they are not first taught to grab ownership of our love for country? You have to grab ownership. Kailangan ariin nila ang bayan natin.
That's true.
How do you do that? You want to empower the youth? Tama si Goma. We have to get them more informed. Pero ang kabataan ngayon, iba na. Because hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa kanila ang dapat nilang gawin. You have to get more information from them on what direction they want to pursue, what dreams they have for the country, and it all starts with dialogue. Kailangan mag-usap ang mga leaders natin ngayon at makinig tayo sa kabataan kasi ang kabataan may sariling talino yan at meron silang ideas na magaganda at magagaling. Hindi na tama yung katulad nung araw na basta kayong lahat sumunod tapos we'll have a better place. It doesn't work that way anymore.
That's true.
And you want to empower the youth, you give them more trust. Pag bigyan natin ng mas malaking tiwala ang ating mga kabataan. Pag nagbigay tayo ng tiwala sa kabataan, susuklian ka ng pagmamahal sa bayan. Yan ang paniniwala ko.
Ganda, nire-record daw ng mga anak mo yan, Dodo. Trust them more daw. Anyway, Max, another question before I shoot a politics question about voters registration. Go.
All right. So this is on a much lighter note, but a while ago we were talking about online school and how a lot of people my age now won't be able to get the full 4 years on campus. So with that being said, how were your years on campus like in Ateneo and in UP? Like, what are the fondest memories you can think of from back then?
Wow, I want to hear this.
Matagal na, nakalimutan ko na.
Mascom kasi ako, so masaya yung mascom kasi sa UP eh. No, parang in the 90s, parang party place talaga yung mascom. You know, you study pero after class, you get together, then you party hard, you party a lot. So yun yung nakakamiss ngayon sa COVID because you have very little interaction with your classmates, with your schoolmates, no? Then iba yung campus life eh. Yung naglalakad ka from one building to another, and then kakain ka sa mga canteen, and then nag-interact ka with your fellow schoolmates. Iba.
Yan ang na-miss si Juliana, but Goma sa favorite of Gigi Alfonso. Kaya
I love her
yung
so much.
Yung Urian na naging actor sa ng dekada, parang it's hometown decision na talagang he's regarded highly by the UP professors. Pero that's something Juliana misses now, no? The campus life is different. Kawawa yung mga wala sa campus din.
1 year niya lang na-experience yung campus life.
Kawawa. O Dot, ikaw, kumusta kayo ni Vince Season? Are you still in touch now? Kayo yung spanning
Definitely. Actually, yun nga sasabihin ko eh. Kasi when Vince and I, pareho kami transferees. Galing kami nag-aral muna kami sa Amerika ng 2 taon. Tapos pag-uwi dito, nag-1 year residency kami sa Ateneo before we got to play sa NCAA, UAAP. But yung tama eh, yung experience mo in school, alam mo yung school naman nung bibigay sa'yo ng sabihin mo ng knowledge, no? But the real wisdom in life is you make it as you go through the steps of life experiences and the time you spend with other people. And yung camaraderie and friendship that you develop sa college is also something else eh. Tama eh, yung lalabas ka after a hard exam or something, tapos may bonding kayong mga barkada, kaibigan. These are the memories that you will treasure in your life. And it's fun. It's nice to see old friends. Minsan when you bump into each other and you see each other after so many years, and naalala niyo yung konting inuman niyo sa shaky sa kanto o diba? But talaga masaya ang college. Kaya I feel for these college kids right now. I have 2 nga, yung 2 anak ko na they miss college also. They're missing college life. So I'm one of those who are cheering na sana things go back to normal para they can experience also the good times that we experienced in the past.
Pero di ba pareho pa rin yung tuition fee halos kahit online, Dodot?
Actually, yes. It's actually the same. Ako naman, kasi I sit on the board of Brent International School, so I've been there for the past 20 years. And although we're an international school, hindi rin kami nagbababa ng tuition kasi actually it's not, you have to still maintain the school, you still have the sweldo mo sa personnel is the same. And in our case, for example, our teachers are 70% international. So we have to house them pa rin, and we have to pay for their internet connection at home to do the online schooling. So that the costs are still the same. The costs are still the same. So kaya kailangan talaga tsaga-tsaga lang at lilipas din ito.
Sana. Now I'll shoot the question. Kumusta? How important is the next elections, Goma and Dodot, to you and to our country?
Well, the election is always very important, no? Especially entering a presidential election. It's important for us to choose the next president. In fact, as we speak, dapat as early as now, naririnig na natin kung ano ba yung mga plano ng mga gusto tumakbo for president. Hindi pwede nagtatago ka lang tapos may nagsasalita para sa'yo. We really have, at this point in time, we really have to start looking for our president. We have to listen to them. We have to know what their plans are for this country.
That's very Goma. Parang hindi nagtatago ka lang, hindi sa spokesperson, kung hindi talaga diretso dun sa tao. Very Goma. Dot, ikaw, how important is it, to choose a leader? Parang ako, natutunan natin na tipong hindi tayo kukuha ng presidenteng pang good time. Kukuha tayo ng presidenteng pang pandemya. Yung kaya tayong i-lead out of the pandemic. Yun siguro. Dot, ikaw.
This next election is very critical. Why? Because right now, I don't know kung narinig nyo nga, meron tayong 11 trillion peso debt problem already. And because of the slowdown in the business sector, syempre we have to borrow more money. So we're looking at the 15 trillion or peso trillion debt in the next by the end of next year. And if we don't get the good leaders in office, our economy might just suffer, especially that there are a lot of uncertainties ahead. So we really have to choose wisely. We need to choose people that yung meron silang sabihin natin kakayahan, hindi lang mamuno, pero yung merong malasakit sa tao na handang talagang baguhin ang direksyon ng ating bansa. Kasi tayo magbabayad, mga anak natin, apo natin ang magbabayad ng utang ng bansa natin. And it's very critical. So we really have to choose wisely. Let's be discerning, makinig tayo sa mga plataforma, sa programa, and then we decide kung sino karapat-dapat.
And you mentioned it, no? Kayo ni Goman. So it's transparency that we need at this point. That people should say their platforms. What else? Someone na may system, na maayos dun sa systems para to get us out of the pandemic. What will be the election issues pa? Untainted, yung walang corruption.
Para sa akin, Noel, in fairness to President Duterte, it's important that we hear him on a regular basis.
That's true.
We may not agree to all that he says.
That's true.
But what is important is that every week naririnig natin kung ano yung nasa isip niya.
That's true.
Narinig natin kung ano yung tumatakbo sa utak niya, ano yung gusto niyang gawin. I'm hoping that the next president will be like that also. Na he's open, that he talks to the people on a regular basis. Kahit alauna na umaga, nagsasalita pa rin si Presidente. Basta naririnig pa rin natin siya. Di ba? Nakikita natin kung ano yung plano niya. That's very important for us.
That's true.
We may not agree to all that he does, that he wants to do. Pero, again, I'll say na importante naririnig natin siya. At alam natin, ito yung gusto niyang gawin. Di ba? Kaysa yung meron kang presidente na isang buwan na natin hindi nakikita, hindi natin naririnig. Ano pang tumatakbo dito? Di ba? I'd rather have somebody who's like that. Sometimes nagmumura, di ba? Natatawa ka na lang. Pero at least, he's there. There's something happening.
Pero Gobs, ito, at least walang loss in translation pag iba-iba ng interpretasyon, di ba? Parang, kasi nanggaling mismo dun sa tao.
Correct.
Wala ko when you talk, like ikaw, si Mayor Magalong, si Vico, diretso yung usap sa tao, kaya walang loss in translation. Ito parang yung interpretasyon na iba-iba. My God, dun delikado talaga. Well, Dot, ikaw.
Yeah, actually, ang kailangan naman natin, I think, sa susunod mga lalo na sa presidente natin, is someone who will serve as an inspiration to all of us, and someone who will not be divisive but more of a unifying president. Kasi ang dami ng bangayan, ang daming siraan, ang daming attack here, attack there. I mean, when you go online, there's no respect. Walang respeto sa isa't isa, sa kapwa. People are hiding behind their computers or their cell phones, But more than that, there has to be respeto kasi lahat tayo Pilipino. Lahat tayo isang dugo lang. At isa lang, kahit saan sa mundo tayo pumunta. It's sad kasi nga, when you talk to mga graduating students, marami sa kanila, if not more than half, will raise their hand if you ask them if you want to study or if you want to work abroad. So ang pangarap ng kabataan ngayon, marami sa kanila, gusto magtrabaho sa ibang bansa. Pero nakikinabang sa galing at talento ng Pilipino, ibang bansa pa. Sayang naman, di ba? So ang point ko lang, we need a president that will unite this country. We need a president that will inspire us to love each other and to love the Philippines. Yun ang kulang . Kalimutan natin ang politika pagkatapos ng eleksyon. Bago ng eleksyon, panyahan tayo siguro. Pero pag minanalo na, sama-sama natin tulungan, buhatin para ay maabot natin yung pagbabago na ninanais natin.
Pero nga, before mag-wrap up with Maxine and James, kumusta yung data ngayon ng mga nagpapa-register? Because we only have until September 30 for the registration. Goms, in the middle of the COVID response, kumusta? Are people lining up sa COMELEC or like getting their registration? No, you're muted, Goms. Goms, you're muted. Okay. Internet's better. Okay.
Yan. Mababa yung count ng mga
Oo nga
nagpaparegister.
Oo
Pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung campaign namin. Tinutulungan namin yung COMELEC and telling those na unregistered na magparehistro na.
I was telling the people here, hindi ba pwedeng pagsabayin? Para kasing, di ba yung vaccination at saka yung registration are two things na dapat gawin ng mga citizens nang walang politika. Pero mahirap yata kasi may mga taong involved. Different, baka dumami maging spreader. So is there a way?
Iba kasing sistema ng iba kasing sistema ng pag-register sa COMELEC, iba yung activity ng ng
Hindi kaya
vaccination.
ng QR code mo. Hindi kaya ng QR ng Ormoc.
Iba.
Sayang.
So on our part sa local government, we help them sa mga radio programs namin to promote yung registration. And then ako naman, I always say na it is our duty, it is our responsibility to be part of the suffrage.
That's true.
No, to be part of the election process.
That's
At
true.
kung hindi ka bumoboto, huwag ka magrereklamo sa mga nangyayari.
Wala kang karapatang magreklamo.
Wala kang karapatang magreklamo.
So,
Yeah.
Dot, kayo dyan, kumusta yung voter registration sa Pasig? Kasi di ba?
Actually,
Yeah.
tuloy-tuloy Tuloy-tuloy naman yung voter registration sa Pasig. And actually, napakarami pang gustong magparehistro. Nung
Sana, no?
2 or 3 weeks ago, I took yung dalawang anak ko nga, pinarehistro ko rin. Kasi
okay.
ano na sila first time voters sila di ba?
Galing.
And ang dami pa. And I was told, nung nakausap ko yung mga COMELEC, there are a lot of people who are calling up and asking if they can register. Unfortunately,
yung ngayon, di ba?
Limited yung time. Limited. I don't know kung kasi overworked din ang COMELEC natin ngayon, no? Ako hats off ako sa kanila kasi talagang in the middle of this pandemic they haven't stopped. So they're really doing such a wonderful job, and I'm encouraged kasi sa mga nakapila doon sa COMELEC ng Pasig, karamihan kabataan. Kabataan. Nakakatuwa. Yeah.
Mga bata talaga, no? So dapat sila yung driver ng change. And those people na kailangan pa rin magpa-register, yung mga hindi nagpa-register, hindi nakaboto ng 2 beses. So Max, can you end this with something, your takeaway in this whole discussion?
Okay, so thank you to Mr. Dodot and Mayor Richard for this enlightening discussion. And thank you for trusting the youth, because my main takeaways from this is both of you highly encourage trusting the youth and listening to what we have to offer, because right now in a time where it feels like no one is listening to each other, it's important to uplift the people who do have something to say, especially when it can help. So thank you for that, and also for reminding us that in politics there's more than the actual running and the actual actions of being a politician, but also the service and the heart that needs to go into it. I think a lot of our countrymen need to remember that.
That's true. James, final words.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, sirs, for the wisdom we actually learn from you. It's always something that we value whenever we listen from people like you, especially from the public service. Siguro ang takeaway ko rin po dito is, government service is really a thankless job. Kasi, kumbaga, hugot ko rin. I mean, I've been in a pro bono service for quite a while. So, I really do feel the share of feeling that whatever we're doing for a certain cause is really thankless. But nevertheless, it's something that's I believe na enjoy pa rin and fulfilling, as the both of you have told earlier. So thank you po, and mabuhay po kayong dalawa.
Thank you because you make public service. Kahit thankless, you make it cool, no? So Dot, before Goma, anything before we see you running for either Vice Mayor of Vico or Congress, a Congressman of Pasig?
Basta ako, sabi ko nga, my desire to serve the people of Pasig will never expire. It will always be there. And I've been so blessed with my life. I have a wonderful wife, wonderful family. And what more can I ask for? I have dreams for this country. I have dreams for the people of Pasig. And if they do desire me to come back and serve them again, who am I to say no? No. So, but again, thank you for this opportunity to have been able to speak to you, to the people today. It's such a privilege, and it's nice to hear the youth, guys like Maxine and Engineer James, that you guys are, your guys are headed in the right direction. So I'm sure that the country will fall into good hands with people like you. God bless all of you.
Nice also to have you back in the public scene again. So this will be your first of many interviews na after. So maganda to, like-minded people, lahat ng mga feeling nating may konsensya at may offer sa bansa yon, magsasama-sama.
Tapos pupuntahan pa natin si Mayor Goma sa Ormoc.
Oo naman. Oo naman.
Yes. Tayo dito.
Sabi nila, Goms, parang kaya raw hindi pa natatapos yung pandemya dahil parang hindi pa rin tayo natututo. Parang when I ask you, di ba, parang when will this pandemic be over? Unless we get our acts together as a people, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yan. So that's something we learned. So
we always have to remember that this pandemic is very difficult. It needs a lot of cooperation from government and people. Hindi to kaya ng tao lang, hindi to kaya ng gobyerno lang. Kailangan magsama-sama tayo, magtulungan tayo. And that's the only way we can beat this virus, this pandemic, really through helping each other. No? So ganun talaga, mahirap. This is something new. It's even the doctors and scientists, they're still discovering what this virus is all about. Kaya kita mo, nag-evolve siya. Lagi siya nagbabago. So, matagal pa to. Feeling ko matagal pa to.
Totoo. But thank you for being there, for navigating us into steps and ways out of it. And then, sabi nyo nga ni Dodot, kitang-kita, again, faith is what carried us through. Family. And you've never been closer to your families, your friends, your people, your associates, the ones closest to you. And again, that's that food for the body. Dapat yon, athletes don, ganun din, maayos yung well-being and food for the soul. So thank you.
You know what is going to save us from this pandemic, Noel?
What go?
It's really discipline from one another, discipline of the people. Yeah.
That's true. And really, in the end, tayo lang naman ito. So tayo magtutulungan. So it's more than ourselves. It's really reaching out to other people. Lalo na ngayon, we really feel it. Swerte mo, Goma, nandyan ka, kami ni Dodot nandito. It's the first day of the third wave. Parang season 3, parang PBB.
Ito na, Noel, mas swerte ako sa ngayon, Dodot, kasi nandito na ako sa kotse ko ngayon. Kasama ko si Lucy sa likod, nandito siya.
Hello.
We miss you. Well, pray for us, Lucy. Your intervention's really, really so important. Well, thank you. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat until the next leveling up session. Maraming salamat, Dodot. Maraming salamat, Goma. Maraming salamat, James and Maxine. We'll see you again next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, Noel.
Salamat. Thank you.
Paulit-ulit kang nagplano. Paulit-ulit ngunit lagi din naman nababago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag mo na kayang palampasin.
Hi Noel, my friend. Congratulations on the success of your online show Level Up. 3 years old na and it continues to reap awards.
Ang buhay sadyang ganyan.
At kaya ng papago-bagong pag-ihip ng hangin. Lahat ay lilipas at magsasalita.
Huwag kang mabahala, huwag mataranta. Hindi kailangan ang mag-alilangan pa.
Isipin mo laging nandito lamang ang aking balikat, sa'yo'y nakaabang. Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang na pupuntahan, pangako kailanman agad akong nandyan, sang tawag mo
tuwing nagdidilim ang langit, di ba't nagpapakita ang buwan hanggang mag-umaga na naman.
Tara't hintayin na natin magsikat ng iyong araw hanggang sa magliwanag muli ang lahat.
Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang na pupuntahan, pangako kailanman agad akong nandyan, sang tawag mo. Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang na pupuntahan, pangako kailanman agad akong nandyan, sang tawag mo lang, sang tawag mo lang.
All caps, mga Atenista! It's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM.
Get your daily dose of inspiration through our music. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music in YouTube.